Imagine you're 13 years old. It's late at night.
The house is quiet.
Everyone else is asleep. Then you hear it. Scratch sounds. At first, you think it's a mouse. Maybe branches scraping against the wall. But the sound isn't coming from outside. It's coming from under your bed. You lean down to look. Nothing. The scratching stops. Then, 3 knocks echo through the room. Not from the door, not from the wall. From somewhere inside the house. Your mother rushes in, her face pale. Because this isn't the first time it's happened. And over the next few months, priests would pray. Doctors would fail. You would begin speaking words you were never taught. This is the case that would inspire one of the most terrifying films ever made. Tonight, we are going to talk about the real story behind The Exorcist. Welcome to the podcast, You Can't Unhear. In 1973, the world watched The Exorcist, a film so disturbing that some audience members fainted in theatres. Others ran out screaming. Churches condemned it. Critics praised it. And despite all the controversy, it became one of the most successful horror films ever made. But what frightened audiences most wasn't the spinning heads or the green vomit. It was a single sentence, based on a true story. That story began decades earlier, in 1949. At the centre of it all was a 13-year-old boy. Today, most people know him as Roland Doe, though his real identity has never officially been revealed. And perhaps that's one of the strangest parts of this case. Because unlike many famous hauntings, there were no book deals, no television interviews, no attempts to profit from the story. The family wanted silence. They wanted anonymity. And if not for later investigators, the world may never have heard about Roland at all. The first strange events reportedly began in January of 1949. Roland lived with his family near Washington, D.C. By all accounts, he was an ordinary boy. At least, at first. Then, on January 15th, the family began hearing strange sounds, dripping noises. Even though no pipes were leaking, scratching beneath the floorboards. The kind of sounds that don't seem frightening in daylight, but become terrifying at 2 a.m. Around this time, Roland was especially close to his Aunt Tilly. She had introduced him to something many families considered harmless: a Ouija board. Whether you believe they're toys or something else entirely, stories surrounding Ouija boards have followed them for generations. Then, tragedy struck. On January 26th, Aunt Tilly died unexpectedly, and according to the family, that's when everything changed. Roland's mother began testing the strange phenomena. She would ask, "If this is Tilly, knock 3 times." And according to reports, 3 knocks would answer. Every time. Coincidence? Grief? Or something listening? Soon, the activity became focused on Roland. He complained of hearing squeaking noises on his bed at night. People claimed scratches appeared on his mattress. Objects moved. Furniture shook. Eventually, the family contacted a Lutheran minister, Reverend Luther Schultz. He agreed to observe the boy overnight. And according to later accounts, he experienced things he couldn't explain. Scratching sounds, furniture moving, a chair tipping over while Roland sat nearby. Even the bed itself appeared to shake. As February passed, things reportedly escalated. Strange marks began appearing on Roland's skin. Scratches. Words. Symbols. His mother later claimed she witnessed them forming before her eyes. Holy water was used. Blessed candles were lit. Yet some believed religious objects only made the disturbances worse. Eventually, the family sought psychiatric help. Roland was taken to Georgetown University Hospital. Doctors examined him, but reportedly found no explanation. And so, attention shifted from medicine to faith. By March, the family decided to move Roland to relatives in Missouri, hoping distance might stop whatever was happening. It didn't. If anything, the reports became even stranger. 2 Catholic priests became involved, Father Raymond J. Bishop and Father William Bowden. Father Bishop began documenting events in a diary that would later become one of the most controversial pieces of evidence in paranormal history. According to these records, one evening, Father Bowden blessed Roland's room, placed a crucifix beneath his pillow, and left. Moments later, a loud crash echoed through the house. The family rushed inside. Furniture had moved. A bench overturned. The crucifix had shifted. And most disturbingly, Roland's mattress reportedly shook violently while he remained on it. Then someone shouted, "Aunt Tilly, stop!" And according to witnesses, the shaking ceased. Immediately. Was it grief taking shape? A desperate family searching for answers? Or something darker, wearing the face of a loved one? Eventually, the Catholic Church approved a formal exorcism. Archbishop Joseph Ritter granted permission. And on March 16, 1949, the ritual began. For weeks, priests prayed over the boy, sometimes in homes, sometimes in hospitals, including the Alexian Brothers Hospital in St. Louis. The Roman ritual of exorcism had remained largely unchanged for centuries. Ancient prayers spoken against ancient evils. "I cast thee out, unclean spirit." Witnesses later claimed Roland experienced violent outbursts. He cursed, spat, raged. Some claimed he spoke Latin, a language he supposedly never learned. His family became so shaken by the ordeal that they converted from Lutheranism to Catholicism. Then came one of the most famous claims. During the exorcism, a 6-inch image allegedly appeared scratched into Roland's skin. Some described it as resembling the devil, complete with horns. Whether this truly happened remains debated to this day. But for those who saw it, the memory never left them. The ordeal continued into April. Night after night, prayer after prayer, until April 18th. According to the accounts, something changed. Late that night, Roland suddenly spoke. But witnesses claimed the voice didn't sound like his own. Deep, adult, male. Then came words that have echoed through paranormal history ever since. Satan. Satan. I am Saint Michael. I command you to leave this body. Moments later, Roland convulsed violently one final time. Then, silence. When he awoke, he reportedly looked around calmly and said only, "He is gone." According to Roland, he had witnessed St. Michael himself, the archangel carrying a flaming sword, driving away the evil presence. And after that night, the phenomena stopped. No more scratching, no more voices, no more moving furniture, just silence. But was it real? That's where this story becomes complicated, because decades later, some people involved began sharing different perspectives. Father Walter Halloran, one of the Jesuits present during the exorcism, later downplayed some of the more sensational claims. He questioned reports of vomiting, denied major voice changes, and suggested some events may have been exaggerated over time. Skeptics point out that a spring mattress can be shaken. Children can imitate languages. Scratches can be self-inflicted. And grief, especially after losing someone close, can produce extraordinary experiences. Some even described Roland as a troubled child, prone to mischief, pranks, aggression. Was this possession? A psychological crisis? An elaborate performance? The truth is, we may never know. Because much of the evidence comes from diaries copied and circulated decades later. Some copies disappeared. Some were burned. Others surfaced years afterward. Their authenticity remains debated to this day. And perhaps that's what makes this case so enduring. Not certainty, but uncertainty. Because even Father Halloran, who questioned many details, still believed something unnatural had happened, especially the markings on Roland's body. He reportedly said, "I didn't think there was any way they could have been self-induced." Whether Roland was possessed, or whether something else happened in those rooms in 1949, depends on who you ask. But one thing is certain: a boy, a family, and a group of priests experienced something so disturbing that 70 years later, people are still arguing about it. And maybe that's the real horror, not knowing. Because sometimes, the scariest stories aren't the ones we can prove. They're the ones we can't. Sleep tight tonight, guys. I'll see you on the next episode of the podcast You Can't Unhear.